producers, this is Kristen Brinley, your publisher, and I'm here with the wonderful Michelle Sagatov. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. She is our December cover story, so if you haven't checked it out, definitely do so. And on page 36, actually, of the December issue. If you haven't downloaded Digipub yet, definitely go to Google Play or to Apple and download that. So, yep, check out her article. And Michelle, it's such a pleasure to have her on with us. She was the December cover because she has done, as a solo agent in 2019, she did over $30 million in business. And the range last year was like a $149,000 house to like $2.3 million. Nice range there. 50-50 buyer seller side. And she's done over $175 million in business personally as well, like in her 15-year career. And she was a police officer before that, so thank you for serving the community too.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you could do anything. You're a real, like, sharp gal. Why real estate? Like, why did you go into real estate?
That is a good question, but I met my husband when I was a police officer, and he was flipping houses. He owns his own design build company, and I kind of got my hands into that and really loved seeing something come to fruition that you kind of put your blood, sweat, and tears into. And so I kind of made that leap when we decided to start a family, and I haven't looked back, so it's been a great decision.
It sounds like it, and you all work together quite well.
Yeah, we do. It's one of our little unique traits. We call ourselves either like Arlington's property partners, and we help clients decide whether they want to stay and renovate, or if they want to look for a new place and build or renovate a different house. So we can kind of help them with all aspects of that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can guide people through that really well with all the knowledge base that you have. It's wonderful. What has been the biggest challenge as a realtor for you?
I think the biggest challenge or the biggest hurdle is really kind of putting myself out there in terms of sales. Sales wasn't in my background ever, and kind of going for things and being okay when I didn't get them, and just kind of moving forward through that. I think my husband was a big support of me kind of getting over that and not dwelling on it. So yeah.
What has been like most rewarding for you in your business in real estate?
I think the most rewarding aspect of it is the people I meet and the fact that I get to stay in contact with them, and a lot of them become friends, and I get to see them, start families, and then help them, sell their house and move on to their next house and really become their partner in real estate. So.
Yeah, you got really passionate earlier. She was telling me a story about just like helping people with their resources, and they need a plumber, they need this, they need that. Like, you help them take care of those things.
Yeah, I love the fact when people pick up the phone or text me, and I'm the first one that comes to mind when it's anything house related or real estate related, or if they have a question, even if it's their family members, they have a question or looking for someone. I'm honored that they always think of me and reach out to me. So.
You are definitely relationship focused, like very referral based. So I can see that being how you do things. So how does it fit into your dreams and goals? Like, how does real estate fit into your dreams and goals, Michelle?
I feel like there's two aspects of it when it comes to my business and then also my family. And so, business wise, real estate is something that I really enjoy. I kind of feel like I live it as well with my husband being in a design build. We kind of have our own side business in terms of like flipping properties and taking a dilapidated house and renovating it and then selling it. And so real estate has really have been a platform for us to kind of not only live in different neighborhoods in Arlington and get to know different neighborhoods, but it's also to become familiar with all aspects of real estate. And so because of that, I think that's only helped my business and also helped my family, because they are very good at packing and moving, and it's really, I can relate to all my clients in that way. Like, I understand what it's like to have your house on the market and to have to live the way you do when your house is on the market. I understand packing and kind of all of the strains, and that kind of comes with real estate. So, yeah.
Well, and you were talking about your kids being flexible and all the things it's taught with moving. Tell us about your family. Tell us about your family.
So I have 2 kids. I have a 12-year-old girl, Alina, and I have a 10-year-old boy, James. Both are super active, and I think what has really been impressive for my husband and I is to see them kind of grow and understand the business and what it brings us. Number one, I think it makes us more community focused. And number 2, they see that, it really is kind of like a teamwork when it comes to our family. Like everybody chips in, everybody helps out when our houses are on the market. And then it's a lot of work. And they put in the work and they see the reward, which I think is beneficial to them. Granted, they complain sometimes, but for the most part, they are a team player. And I feel grateful for the fact that we can kind of teach them these skills, and hopefully, it'll build future better skills for them growing up.
So define success for us.
So success, I think for everybody is different, but for myself, I really feel like real estate has served as a platform for me to feel successful and be successful. And what I mean by that is living in Arlington, working in Arlington or Northern Virginia, I get to be part of my community, which I love, and I really get to help the people in my community, which I love. And doing it and being able to see them throughout my community and talk to them and know that I've done a great job for them is very rewarding to me.
What are you learning right now, Michelle?
I'm learning, business-wise, I'm really learning how to be consistent. I feel like for the past couple of years, I've been honing my business down, and right now I'm taking all the skills that I've learned and putting them into place and just trying to be consistent with those. So
beautiful. Tell us about some hobbies, interests that you guys have, maybe a cool trip you all just took. Yeah.
So my family is heavily into soccer, and they kind of had to be just because my husband and I both grew up in soccer, played soccer collegiately, and then coached, which is how we met. And so recently we had the great opportunity to follow the Women's World Cup over to France and see them play and win, which was amazing. There was a lot of Americans there, and it was really just great to be there as a family and a part of the community, and the French were so welcoming, which was awesome. So, yeah.
I followed your journey on Facebook. That was so cool.
It was a trip of a lifetime for sure. Yeah.
Are there any quotes or books or things that have had a big impact for you for your success?
Recently, I've been a big fan of Brené Brown. So, she's done a ton of books and podcasts and talks. So I really have, Daring Greatly is a big one that I highly recommend. You can read it or download it and listen to it. And then one quote which we have printed out is by Theodore Roosevelt, which is I'm going to botch the quotes. It's the critic who counts. And so, it's talking about how it's not the critic who counts, but it's the man who gets in the arena and dares and fails, but at least he knows that he tried, right? And so that's something that we talk about as a family. We always try, and if you don't do great, that's okay. You just
keep going.
Yeah, try again.
And you get up and you go do it again.
That's right.
What sets you apart and makes you different, Michelle?
I feel like there's a handful of things, but one of the things is my partner, my husband. We kind of are a package when, for any of our clients. And what I mean by that is when they hire me, they also get the expertise of my husband, whether when they're selling or buying. He's a second set of eyes that's really focused on the house that can kind of either troubleshoot things or kind of give a better answer of, the structure, what have you. And so, he's been a big part of my success and confidence that clients have when they hire me. And then, I honestly feel like I keep a pulse on the market. I make sure I stay on top of the market in all price ranges, which I think is important. And I think I serve all my clients that way. So, yeah.
Beautiful. You always light up when you talk about your clients too. So, what do you believe has been the biggest reason or reasons for your success?
To be honest, I don't really think there's one certain reason. I think, I was very lucky when I first started into real estate. I worked with Laura Fall from Fall Properties at the time, and she really taught me how to treat my business like a business. And I think it's just building off of that, and every year you start over, you kind of look at your numbers, you project goals, right, like what you're going to do, and you kind of stay consistent, and I think over time, it just gets better and better and better, so.
What do you feel has been maybe the biggest failure, and what have you learned from it?
I think the biggest failure that I've kind of learned from is lack of communication. Communication is huge in any relationship, and when you don't clearly define roles or expectations, you sometimes stumble, and when that happens, it's sometimes hard to recover. And so defining roles and being open and upfront at the very beginning and kind of outlining what's going to happen, I think is probably one of the biggest things that I've learned.
That's important. What is something you have done that other real producers absolutely should do?
I think I've kind of already mentioned it, but it's really treating your business like a business, right? And I think there's a lot of people in real estate. I think it's one of those industries where people can be really good at it, and they don't treat it like a business, and they're just kind of flying by the seat of their pants, and things are coming at them. But that catches up with you after a while, and so I think being carving out time every day or every week to kind of work on your business and make sure that you're hitting your goals, and also setting future goals is really important.
What would you like to be remembered for, Michelle?
I don't think what I want to be remembered for is anything really real estate related. I think it's more just being kind of a member of the community, a helper of the community, and make sure that our family really has a presence in Arlington, and we're known for giving back and helping others.
What's a fun or hilarious story, either in real estate or in your family life? Do you have a fun or hilarious story for our people?
I do. So something that we do as a family sometimes is just because of our hectic life. A lot of times when we're checking out a house for a client, we will bring our kids with us, and so there was this one time where we were probably en route to a soccer game or something, and we had to stop ahead of time and check on a house, look at a house that was accepting contracts pretty quickly, and my husband was kind of checking it out, and we hear my daughter jumping up and down in the basement saying, I found water, and the basement was leaking.
Oh my God.
And so, everybody in our family kind of helps our clients out, is what I usually say, which was really funny that my daughter, and she's really good now, she kind of knows what to look for when she comes to houses with us. So.
That's really cool. Y'all heard it here at Real Producers, and Michelle, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.